Ron Wolfley here with the Big Red Wolf Report on Arizona Sports 620 and ArizonaSports.com. Typically, we examine the game that will be by pulling it through the game that was. Well, unfortunately, the game that was must be pulled through the Houston Texans game scheduled for November 10th at University of Phoenix Stadium. Yeah, I'm sure you can see the problem. This weekend, the Cardinals have their bye week, and they will not play any football. But that doesn't dissuade us here on the Big Red Wolf Report. Intrepidly, we square the jaw and throw the shoulders back and make the B in Plan B stand for bye week edition. So let's hit the pause button for a moment and talk about three new faces that will change the Cardinals' fortunes, positively or negatively, in the second half of the season. Point number one, Tyrann Mathieu. The Honey Badger has been everything Cardinals GM Steve Keim thought he was. Mathieu is built on his strong training camp and has quickly become one of the best defenders the Cardinals have. He's become one of the best tacklers defensive coordinator Todd Bowles has and is second on the team with 49 tackles. As ArizonaSports.com reported, the third-round pick out of LSU is one of only 6 players in the NFL with at least 2 interceptions, a sack, and a forced fumble on the season. 1 of 6. And the accolades are starting for Tyrann. The NFL named Tyrann Mathieu the Defensive Rookie of the Month for October. Again, according to ArizonaSports.com, in 4 games in October, Mathieu totaled 21 tackles, an interception, a sack, and defended 5 passes while playing 86% of all defensive snaps. That's big time, and I only think it's going to get better in the second half. I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of what he's capable of, and if the Cardinals are going to make a playoff run in the second half, the Honey Badger is going to be right in the middle of it. Point number 2, Carson Palmer. Palmer has played up and down all year, but has been relatively consistent, being up and down in games. In 8 games, Carson has thrown a pick in every game and had a stretch of 5 consecutive weeks of multiple interception games. He has 14 on the season and only 10 touchdown passes. Much of the volatility Palmer has shown comes from a struggling offensive line, confused receivers, and the lack of a running game, making Palmer one-dimensional. At this point of his career, putting Carson Palmer in a one-dimensional offense is not where the Cardinals want to be if they're going to play better in November and December. The Big Red line cannot hold up against pass-rushing teams with the offensive line currently constructed the way that it is. But one thing is certain in my way of thinking. If Carson Palmer throws as many interceptions as he has in the first half of the season, the Cardinals have no chance of slipping into the playoffs. Carson has got to play better. Point number 3, Andre Ellington. This kid is the real deal. The NFL is replete with running backs that have been drafted in later rounds that have gone on to have very productive careers. And Andre Ellington may be Exhibit Z in that line. Ellington has impressed the coaches with his vision, start and stop acceleration, speed, and production. The rookie 6th-round draft pick has averaged almost 8 yards a carry and also has 22 receptions for 198 yards. Ellington averages 8.5 yards per touch and has been the biggest surprise of the first half. If the Cardinals are ever going to reduce the amount of picks Palmer throws, they need to get him in a true 3-dimensional offense where you run it, where you throw it, and where you use play action. And if that's going to happen, Andre Ellington needs to repeat what he's produced in the second half of the season. For ArizonaSports.com and Arizona Sports 620, I'm Ron Wolfley, hoping your knuckles stay bloody and your face unscathed.